Hey guys, welcome back to the Comic Book Lowdown. I'm Wellington, and I'm bringing you guys an off-the-dome video. I haven't done one of these in a while here. Just haven't had much to talk about. You know, I've been trying to think about things, but just nothing coming to mind. But after today, I watched a video, and this video is actually inspired by Cami, you know, better known as Reader1717. She recently did a spotlight on Batwoman, and then she, you know, gave out the challenge of, you know, spotlighting a character that, you know, that we like, that is pretty underrated, and you know, right away my mind went to the character I'm picking up right now. Got this short box I'm filling up, you know, about halfway through, not even close to done with this, with any of these runs really, and that character is my boy Marc Spector right here. This is the premiere issue, the first issue of Moon Knight. You know, I don't have the first appearance, I probably never will. That thing's expensive. Happens in Werewolf by Night, issue number 32. You know, just give you some background on that. Here's a quick drawing I literally just finished. Did a little bit of a cover swipe real quick. Let's see if you guys know what it is. Yeah, if you guys can't guess what it is, then you guys aren't down with the Marvel. I got the MK right there. No, not for Mortal Kombat, but for Moon Knight. Yeah, so anyways, start off, Marc Spector. Okay, so I'll give you his origin that we get in the first issue, which I just had in my hand. By the way, you need to upgrade this copy because it's not in too good condition, but I got it for cheap. But whatever. So this cover kind of explains a little bit to you about how the first volume handled this character. And really through each volume, I haven't read any of the miniseries, so I can't speak for them. But for the volumes, I've read a little bit of each, at least, so I kind of have an idea of what, you know, what each of them does, because they all characterize the character in a little different way in a certain aspect. So let me just start from the beginning with Marc Spector. He's going through Egypt as a mercenary with like this group, you know, the mercenary group. Led by this character named Bushman. And Bushman has like this skull tattoo. He's got it tattooed on his face, like a skull face. And it's supposed to be like the face of death. And he's like this really gruesome guy, just kills to kill and all that kind of stuff. He's got his teeth sharpened. You know, he's a bad guy. And from the get-go, you know, Marc Spector, he'll kill somebody if, you know, they're to be killed. You know, if they're a bad person or whatever. But he's always had kind of, he'll do it sometimes, but he's human still. He does still, you know, go through the phases of, you know, not wanting to have killed somebody. So he does do that, and that's something that Bushman, you know, tries to beat out of him, really. Well, not beat out, but he tries to talk him out of that. And, you know, get him to be more like him, be more like a monster. But that's just not in Marc Spector's nature. So they get to this one city in Egypt, and they start, you know, just taking what they want, you know, killing the people that get in their way and all that kind of stuff. And so one guy, this the father of this one character named Marlene, tries to stop Bushman, tries to like stab him while he isn't looking. Doesn't work out, and then the guy gets killed. And then there's this whole thing with Marlene. She gets away, and then Marc, you know, battles it out with Bushman, gets distracted, left for dead. You know, that's just a really roundabout way of telling it. But he's left for dead in the desert. Somehow staggers. Of course, conveniently, this is the 70s, conveniently staggers to Marlene, where she then, he dies right there. She then like kind of puts him in front of the statue, though, one of the statues of the god Khonshu. I can't really pronounce it, but it's like Khonshu, Khonshu, the god Khonshu, which is the god of the moon and god of vengeance. And so, it kind of gets weird, and then like he gets revived with the spirit of Khonshu in him and that kind of stuff. And so then he decides that he's gonna do, he's gonna abide by Khonshu's, the way he does. He's gonna avenge people, and he's gonna do things for good, and he's gonna don the cape and the hood and all that kind of stuff, and just the white ghostly figure. And so he does that. He battles with Bushman again, and gets away, and all this kind of other stuff. So really, his origin is just brought back to him, being revived by an Egyptian god. And after the main thing that happens to him that Marc Spector Moon Knight is really known for, and that's where we get into this cover really, is after he's turned, after he's revived by the gods and all that kind of stuff, he develops multiple personalities, and that's where we get into this, because in volume 1, in this volume, you see here we have 3 different Marc Spectors, and we have Moon Knight, and so each of these is different personality. There's the cab driver personality, the businessman and just upstanding citizen personality. And then there's the mercenary personality, and then there's the Moon Knight personality. And so there's 4 different people, and only this one is Marc Spector, and these other 2 have different names. That one is like John and one is Stephen, and so and that's how he's referred to. So whenever he changes to a different personality, people see that, and they refer to him as that person. They don't call him Mark and stuff. And the way that this changes over time is then we get into, let's see if I pull out a random issue here. Then we get into the next series, Marc Spector Moon Knight. This is issue 11. We get into this series, and it's really now those other personalities, the Steven and the John and all that, they don't exist really. It's just Marc Spector really. Marc Spector is Moon Knight, and really it's not other people talking to him as his other personalities. It's really just him kind of talking out loud, but he kind of talks to himself in third person, and he doesn't have thought balloons. He talks to himself out loud. So that's what we get in this, and so I think that's a better way of doing it. And what else about it? And then going further, like again, I don't have any of the miniseries, so I can't really talk for them. But then, and again, just grabbing at a random issue here, then we get into the 3rd ongoing, and this is Moon Knight issue number 15, and this was from 2006. The Marc Spector Moon Knight is from 89, and this one is from 1980, so not 1970s, 1980s. And this 89, and then 06. And then here, at least I've read the annual for this run, and what they do there is that he has his regular personality, him being Marc Spector, knowing that he's also Moon Knight. So Marc Spector and Moon Knight go together, so they're not 2 different personalities. But what he has is that he has another personality characterized as something else in his head, and so that's what we see back and forth with that personality and Moon Knight. So that's how we get it in this volume. And the final ongoing by, again, random issue here. Actually, I'll just grab issue number 1, just because it kind of displays a little bit better. Issue number 1 of this volume that only went 12 issues, and it was by Bendis and Alex Maleev on art, so, you know, the great Daredevil team, doing Moon Knight. And in this volume, we have, just because I'm pretty sure it's only one story arc, just of all 12 issues just are this story arc. And you can get all these in trade, really, or in essentials and all that kind of stuff. But this 12 issues, and as you see on here, we got the Wolverine claws, the Captain America shield, and the Spider-Man, you know, hand. And then, of course, Moon Knight himself. And so what is done here is really interesting. And Marc Spector, everybody knows he's crazy. If you know him, you know that he's crazy, I should say. And first of all, he's in a whole new city. He, instead of being in New York, he's gone on to live in LA. And what Bendis does that I really liked in this is that, I mean, Moon Knight is part of the Avengers. At least I'm guessing he is, because what they do is at the beginning of this issue and all throughout this issue until the very end, and this will be spoiler, we get Marc Spector, Moon Knight, talking to Wolverine, Captain America, and Spider-Man, and they're all coming together and they're all plotting out this one thing that's going on in the city. And you know, they're going through their plan and they're executing their plans and all that kind of stuff. And then throughout the issue, you know, we feel as if they're there. But at the very end of this issue, we get this revelation that Marc Spector has just made up all the characters in his head. So really, he's just on his own. And in the second issue, that goes even further, where he even gets in a Spider-Man costume, tries to fight crime, and then along with, he's even got web shooters, and on the back end of the web shooters, he's got Wolverine claws. So, you know, he goes all out and really impersonating these superheroes. So, you know, each volume has done something different. You know, my personal preference, I would say I like this one the best, where his personalities are personified as something that you can see. And they definitely use that a lot more. In the Marc Spector Moon Knight, they don't really go, or from what I've read so far, they haven't really gone into his multiple personalities yet, so that could change, and, you know, I'm not sure yet. I'm not the complete expert, but I'm definitely enjoying from what I've read. You know, he doesn't have a book out in the Marvel Now, and I'm not sure if he will anytime soon, at least. So, you know, now is a great time to catch up on trades of his. There's also Vengeance of Moon Knight, which I don't have any issues of, and that went like 10 issues, so I guess you could say that's another ongoing. Yeah, definitely an underrated character. He was in Age of Ultron, and then they didn't use him at all, really. They put him in like 2 issues, and I was hoping to see him. Didn't. Very disappointing. But I'm not even going to go into that in this video. But anyways, check out Moon Knight if I've interested you any bit. From what I would recommend checking out, I would definitely check out the Bendis stuff, because it's not very long, and you can get the 2 trades very easily, and it's a really good intro to the character, really. You know, I mean, of course, the essentials are going to give you the origins, the original stories of it, but I really, really enjoyed this, from what I've read of this, the first 3 issues, and, you know, there's more issues to go, so I would definitely recommend the Bendis run. I'd recommend all the runs because I'm enjoying everything that I've read so far. But anyways, no rush in getting your hands on this. You know, it's going to be around a while. Not a lot of people pick up Moon Knight, but I'm really enjoying it. I would recommend it. Cool character, cool look to him, cool ideas behind his character. Something new that, you know, not a lot of other people read. And yeah, so that's it for me, guys. Just a quick, not even a quick ad-log. Actually, this is a 15-minute video. So just a video off the dome. Credits to Cami, aka Reader1717, for giving me the idea. You know, check out the rest of my videos if you liked. Comment, do whatever. Pull week video tomorrow, so definitely be ready to check that out. But every issue I'm reviewing is an online issue, so I'm going to be trying to put thumbnails, or whatever it's called, the thumb time whatever, that you can actually click on the times and then go to those specific reviews. So you know, if you don't want to hear me talk about Age of Ultron issue number 10 and you want to hear me talk about Animal Man, just click on the time in the description box, skip right over to that review. Watch what you want to watch, because I know not everybody wants to watch every review for everybody's videos. So, you know, just click on the time slot that you want to watch, whatever reviews you feel like watching, and comment on those, do whatever. And yeah, so I'm going to get out of here, guys. Pretty late. I'm Wellington signing off with a Comic Book Lowdown, and I'll see you guys next time.